All right, so I'm going to see how this goes. My voice is a little strained after this game tonight between the Barrie Colts and the Mississauga Steelheads, and this one had a lot on the line. Two teams that have been on a roll coming into this one. The Colts, winners of 4 of their last 5, while Mississauga, 3 wins in their last 4 games. So these two teams went toe-to-toe, and for Mississauga, missing a key player for them, Porter Martone, out of the lineup for a second consecutive game due to an upper body injury. Suffered that in the game in Windsor, but despite Martone being out of the lineup, this Mississauga team doing a really good job. They were right in it from the beginning. These teams went back and forth. So let's recap how this one ended up that way. Early on in this hockey game, Mississauga getting into some penalty trouble, even resulting in a 5-on-3 situation for the Barrie Colts. However, Mississauga perfect tonight on the penalty kill. Barrie ended up going 0 for 5 on the man advantage tonight. They could not beat Ryerson Leaders and that great penalty kill unit of the Mississauga Steelheads. But after the 5-on-3 expired, the Barrie Colts would get one. Great setup. Kyle Morey would find Bodie Stewart and he would put it in. It was a great setup to make it 1-0, but that goal ended up being reviewed. It was a lengthy review for the offside. What you could see was Bodie Stewart and Adam Zidlicki were having a battle at the blue line, but they determined that because Zidlicki put the puck into his own zone, Bodie Stewart was onside, and then Morey was able to get it to Stewart and made it 1-0 at that point in the hockey game. The Colts, as I mentioned, 0 for 4 on the power play in that first period, and they gave up a 5-on-3 situation at the end of the first period. Mississauga had, I think it was about 12 seconds of 5-on-3 time at the end of the first period, so that carried over into the second frame. Dean Locust, he had an open cage and somehow missed the net, and then that resulted in Bo Jelsma eventually creating a turnover, and Jelsma with a shorthanded goal when it was a 5-on-3 for Mississauga made it a 2-0 hockey game. And with that goal, Bo Jelsma has extended his point streak to 13 games. So Jelsma continues to get it done. It's the second longest goal streak in the OHL right now. You may have heard of this guy named Easton Cowan. Right now he's at a 30-game point streak. So Bo Jelsma's got some ground to make up there on Easton Cowan. But Jelsma looked great on that play. You could tell he was jacked and excited, making it 2-0. And then not long after, Angus McDonnell, he had the puck down low, and he found, I don't know how he did it, he was down below the goal line and banked it off Ben West, found enough space, so that would get Mississauga on the board, making it a 2-1 score at that point. And then Carter Lowe nearly got a shorthanded goal himself, so that was almost 2 shorthanded goals tonight for the Barrie Colts. But Ryerson Leaders made the save, the puck went up in the air, and then he was able to somehow bat that one into the corner. So it was 2-1 after the second period. In the third period, both teams playing like a chess game. They were very cautious, didn't want to make that mistake, but then as things started to open up, Mississauga, they put 20 shots on goal in the third period, and Ben West had to be sensational. He made one save where he kicked out the left pad, but ended up losing the blade of his skates off the post. So there was a bit of a delay there as the equipment manager was able to fix the skate blade. Looked like a pit crew for a NASCAR race. But Ben West, outstanding in this hockey game. But then the Barrie Colts, they would make it a 3-1 score. Bodie Stewart, his second of the game. It was came out from the corner, Morey setting up Stewart, and he was able to reach just enough to tuck it around Ryerson Leaders, making it a 3-1 score. So the Colts were looking pretty good at that point, and it seemed as though Mississauga showing a little bit of panic there. But penalty trouble would get the better of the Barrie Colts. A delay a game penalty against Grayson Tiller, and then Chaz Sharp, a great one-timer, but that would not have been possible if it wasn't for the play of Angus McDonnell. He was falling, and he was able to pass the puck over the defenseman to set up Chaz Sharp, and that made it a 3-2 hockey game. So great game tonight from Angus McDonnell. And then after that, West, he made a couple more amazing saves, including one where Angus McDonnell was in shock that West made the save. He put his hands on his helmet in disbelief that he did not find the back of the net on that play. But the Steelheads, they would be persistent. And finally, Finn Harding, he would take the shot. West had it off his glove, and it went in, making it a 3-all hockey game. The Colts, they got a couple of great chances before the buzzer. Bo Jelsma and Zach Weigel just not able to connect. Even Fibbiger got in the way of a couple of those chances, and it ended up going to overtime. And in the overtime period, Mississauga looked calm, cool, and collective. They had no problem taking the puck out of the attacking zone. They would send it all the way back in their own end. They just played keep away from the Barrie Colts. I don't even think the Colts touched the puck in the overtime period. Mississauga was just playing keep away, and then Lucas Carmiris had the puck in his own zone, found a lane, and was able to beat Ben West, making it a 4-3 final. And tonight was actually the first overtime win of the season for Mississauga. They had an 0-7 record coming into tonight in overtime, and Lucas Carmiris got the first win for Mississauga. So this is a big 2 points for the Steelheads. They're in striking distance of Sudbury for first place in the Central Division, along with the North Bay Battalion, who won tonight as well. So it's a logjam at the top of the Eastern Conference standings. And for the Barrie Colts, they got a point, so they're now 5 points back of Kingston for 7th. So I don't think we're going to know playoff positionings until the last game of the regular season. That's at least how it looks right now. But we'll have to wait and see. So in that game, Mississauga outshot Barrie 47-25. Bodie Stewart was named the first star. He had an amazing game, but I was kind of thinking maybe Angus McDonnell or Kamira should have been first star, but they gave it to Bodie Stewart. He had 2 goals tonight, and that's how this game would end. So, of course, the Barrie Colts, they play next on Saturday night. They're going to take on the North Bay Battalion. That's a classic matchup. And the Mississauga Steelheads, they're off until Sunday when they head up to the nation's capital to face the Ottawa 67. So let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on tonight's game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.